It's like covered with material. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so here's the thing, I know you got it.
And just so you know, I'm having the same problem that I did when I lived in Ventura. I lived around a lot of orchards, so in Ventura, I live on a dirt road.
Right, gotcha.
And so I have a lot of dust.
We're out here in Thousand Oaks, by the way. So,
I used to work up in that place.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, everybody. Now that Renee and I have talked about our personal lives, let me bring up an issue that I think is really relevant to everybody, and that is this. Renee has a very, very specific problem that she's trying to solve. And I know you have vetted the people who are coming out, and I'm glad you have. Far be it from me to disparage hard-working folks selling their wares, doing their honest day's work out there. But I will tell you this, when it comes to anything like this, I just want you to ask good questions, honest questions, and listen, you don't necessarily commit on the spot unless you are just feeling like, oh man, it's resonating, that's the perfect solution. I tend to distrust anybody with a vested interest in selling this stuff when it comes to just take, I take advice with a grain of salt when somebody has a strong vested interest in selling me something. I don't want to poison the well, okay? I really don't. And there are plenty of, like I said, honest folks out there who are doing an honest day's work. I just, even in those situations, though, their zeal to get something on my window is got to be counterbalanced by just good old practicality. And when we aren't really struggling with like, oh, my window is missing something, it's missing it, your issue is strictly, it sounds like a light control issue, Renee, a light and heat control issue. And so, in a minimalist setup, you should also maybe run down to the depot and look at the minimal blind setup, which would be a roller shade, like a Venetian blind with blackout or at least a capability. We're talking about something that might fit in the window frame and be hidden by nothing more than an inch and a half of frontage. The lesson of the day is that, again, where I started, take a look at your windows first. The lesson of the day is window coverings and window treatments are all about fitting the window and following the window, okay? They are all about finding that right solution. And if the window needs nothing else, then you want the least amount of functional covering during that period of time that you need it the most. So, super small cartridge and something that essentially goes away. And you could look at a place like blinds.com and find some amazing roller shades there. Very low profile. We have some on our house as well. Some are remote controlled, some are manual, some are room darkening, some are simply opaque. But anyway, you've got lots of options, Renee, and just let the window drive the bus. That's my point, okay? Not every window needs a window treatment. Some of them just need a little bit of light control. Excellent question, Renee. Good luck, and let us know how it comes out. All right, y'all. So glad you're getting to this morning. We got so much more to come. We're home with Yourself the House Whisperer and Kevin. What's happening?
Los Angeles and County.
I'm Brian Greenman, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Here's the latest news on the people in Ukraine are going to put the shelter in place as Russia continues its invasion. ABC's Aaron Kaczynski says fighting in the streets broke out early this morning. As neighborhoods empty out, families torn apart make whatever plans they can to try to survive. Many mothers have been left alone to care for their children as they wait in the cold for border guards to let them through. The U.S. has offered to get Ukraine's president out of the country, but he has declined. Bridges, schools, and apartment buildings have been destroyed over the past few days. News brought to you by Denmark. Some local groups and churches say they're still trying to figure out the best way to help people in Ukraine. The 3 local churches have directed people to specific websites while the Ukrainian Culture Center in LA is working with local officials to send a shipping container filled with refugees along the Ukrainian border. U.S. aide Sarah Charles says that is the #1 priority because it continues in many different ways and with groups on the ground.
A number of our existing partners that have been working in Ukraine for some time and actually respond in the community.
Charles says people should only donate to better groups and those endorsed by the reputable organizations. Today is the 10-year anniversary of the death of Trayvon Martin. That came into the Black movement and caught the attention of the nation's first African-American president. Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. After the 17-year-old was found and killed in Florida, then President Obama said it might be a good time to examine laws like that state's stand your ground self-defense law. The man who shot Martin, George Zimmerman, was found not guilty. Nearly a decade to the day after his death, a group of Democratic lawmakers and gun control activists cited Trayvon Martin on Thursday as they announced the formation of a national task force to try and repeal Florida's stand your ground law and similar versions elsewhere. New mental health response teams in Huntington Beach and Garden Grove have answered hundreds of calls for help without transport to a care facility.
Close to 800 calls in each respective city.
The OC CEO Marshall Moncrief says this week Newport Beach became the 3rd city to send thousands of yearly mental health calls to a mobile response team instead of police.
We haven't had a system in place that's highly responsive, tooled, and trained to meet those needs.
Newport Beach Homeless Services Coordinator Natalie Buckmudgeon says the team's already helped a man who was suicidal.
So rather than having the burden on our police and our jail, this man is getting some positive treatment.
Response teams are expected next in Anaheim and Irvine. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI Am.
The LAPD says it's likely a homeless man from New York has attacked a number of women in LA. Investigators say on February 17th they arrested 27-year-old Gabriel Hodges for attacks on 2 women that happened within minutes of each other. One of the attacks on the 15th had been caught on a homeowner's surveillance video. Hodges has been arrested with aggravated kidnapping, residential burglary with intent to commit a sexual assault, and assault with intent to commit rape. He's in jail on $2.1 million bail. And the Dickens Festival, that's Charles Dickens, has returned in person to the IE, and it's mad as hops.
Downtown Riverside transforms into the Victorian period of London with an assortment of characters and shows reflective of author Charles Dickens' life and times. Visitors can expect theatrical performances, pageants, music, speeches, historical recreations, and children's activities. This is the 29th year for the Nancy Narking event that takes place along the Main Street Pedestrian Mall, which is between Mission Avenue and 11th Street. Andrew Caravella, KFI News.
The festival is a 2-day event that starts today. More info can be found at dickensfest.com. If you didn't understand all the references to Charles Dickens stuff in there, I didn't either. Taking a look at KFI traffic, we've got a crash on the 210.
In Laverne, on the westbound side of the 210 before Fruit Street, it's crash in the 2 left lanes. It's got you backed up starting around Town Avenue. In Fontana, eastbound side of the 10, just past Sierra. Crash moved over to the right shoulder there, but the drive's still a bit slow from Citrus. And Paris on the northbound side of the 215, Redlands Avenue to Ramona Expressway. 2 right lanes shut down by Caltrans. Means only the left lane is open there, causing heavy delays through the area. Fountain Valley, northbound 405, Brookhurst to Warner Moore Road. Work carpool and left lane out of commission till around top of next hour. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Bucky.
When it comes to protecting your identity, there's no one better, certainly in my opinion, than LifeLock. Every day we put our information at risk on the internet, and the holy grail for the cyber criminals is to grab your identity. Credit cards, bank information, applications for credit, all of that is at risk with your identity being stolen, which is why I am a customer of LifeLock by Norton. And what they do is monitor your information and alert you to potential identity threats. And if you do become a victim of a cyber criminal, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will be there to help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor every single transaction at every business. But with LifeLock, it's very easy to help protect yourself, and you really want to do that. Save up to 25% off your first year. Call 800-LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code HANDLE. LifeLock.com. Promo code HANDLE.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny skies warming up little by little over the next couple days. Highs in the mid to upper 60s at the beaches, upper 60s to mid 70s in Metro LA and OC, low 70s in the inland valleys, and mid 60s to low 70s in the Inland Empire. There is a wind advisory in inland areas like the Inland Empire and inland valleys until 4 this afternoon. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Right now it's 43 degrees in Irvine, 39 in Fountain Valley, 45 in Culver City, and 45 in Inglewood. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Berman.
Well, Alabama, Arkansas, I do love my ma and pa, but not the way that I do love you. Well, holding me on mine, you're the apple of my eye. Girl, I've never loved one like you. Man, oh man, you're my best friend. I scream into the nothingness. There ain't nothing that I need. In hot and heavy pumpkin pie, chocolate candy, Jesus Christ. Girl, nothing pleased me more than you. Home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
KFI, AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You are listening to Home. I'm Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer, here with you live like I am every weekend. Saturday mornings from 6 to 8, Sunday mornings from 9 to 11. Welcome to the second hour of our fine program. It's just a few minutes after 7 a.m. on this gorgeous February 26th Saturday morning. I know that at KFI, we always give you all sorts of accurate and information-packed news reports when it comes to weather reports, highs, lows, wind advisories, all of that stuff. But here's the thing that, I'm going to add to that. The forecast for today is gorgeous. That's the forecast for Southern California. It's just a beautiful, beautiful spring day in Southern California, and if you don't have plans of getting out in it, you should. We're going to get out in it. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to come up with an excuse to get out in it, because I'm looking out at the trees blowing. There isn't a cloud in the sky over here at the moment. It's cool. It's just, it's going to be a gorgeous day. I hope that you take full advantage of it. And I'm glad you are here with us. What are we doing here on the show? What are we all about? I'm here to help. I'm here to be an advocate for you as you wrestle with construction issues on your home. A design mentor for you, because when it comes to transforming that place where you live, design matters most. And, just a friendly voice, helping you build a more beautiful home. I hope a more beautiful life, and do it all more affordably and more artfully than you would imagine. It's a decorator's weekend here on the program. We're talking about window treatments today, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about, or I'll be giving you my furniture buying guide. So let's get back to window treatments, shall we? I promised you 3 steps along the way. We've covered step 1, the most important step that I've spent the most time on, and that is that a window treatment should accentuate the window itself and the trim work. And if you don't have an exciting window, focus on that first. Focus on taking your window and giving it perhaps the trim work that it needs. Casing, base, stool, sill, all sorts of ways of trimming out a window in accordance with the style of your home. But why not make the window itself something worth looking at to start with? Because the window is what we're all about here, okay? Window treatments aren't just something we run to cover up an ugly window, okay? That's my point. The second step is to understand what window treatments really are for. There's only 3 things. They serve 3 purposes. Number 1, they control light. the way that light enters a room, or whether light enters a room. Number two, they control privacy, obviously, right? Because you have a window. If there is a downside to having a big old piece of glass on the side of your house, it's not just that you can see out, but that others can see in. So privacy is a factor. And number three, even if light and privacy aren't issues, the third purpose for a window treatment is simply to zhuzh. Zhuzh. I do not know how to spell that word. I've used it for years. I was starting to actually just jot this note down, and I realized, how the hell do you spell zhuzh? I think I don't know. If anybody knows how to spell zhuzh, please let us know. But anyway, to zhuzh up a window, okay? To sexy it up, to make it more beautiful, okay? First and foremost, though, it's really about the function of light and privacy as we go. So, what options do you have, okay? There seems like there are unlimited choices out there, and in one sense, I suppose there are, but I want to simplify this for you. There are only two kinds of window treatments in Dean's book, okay? Some would argue, no, there's a third, but no, and I'll explain why. There are blinds and there are shades. Blinds and shades. Blinds and shades. What are blinds? Wood blinds, metal blinds, mini blinds, vertical blinds. Yeah. I don't like vertical blinds. And shutters, okay? And that's what some people would say, no, shutters is a different animal. Not really. It falls under the category of blinds. Blinds have some kind of louvered slat or a baffle which can be opened and closed to varying angles and degrees and used to direct light into a space at different angles. You know, okay? So whether it's a tiny mini blind, or whether it's made out of metal or wood or plastic or fiberglass or what have you, whether it's vertically oriented or whether it's a big old custom wood shutter, they're serving the same purpose. They are a blind, meaning that it is adjustable. You can go from a total lockout of light to just a sliver all the way throughout the window to, wide open and so on. Shades are the other main category. Shades, whether they are woven wood shades or roller shades or pleated, honeycomb, or curtains and drapes. Curtains and drapes fall under the category of shades. They are usually a single material with a fixed level of light transmission coming through them, whether that's total blackout or opaque or sheer and letting almost everything through, but a single material. And they are used to cover the window, okay? So you don't have the difference between blinds and shades. Blinds have that adjustable slatting, and shades are simply a fabric. And those are your two options when it comes to window treatments, really. A couple of window treatments do more than just control light, by the way. A honeycomb shade can actually help insulate a window, not to any massive degree, but some. And some curtains can be sound deadening. They can actually aid in keeping a room quieter with a particular kind of material that they are built with. But basically, it's blinds and it's shades. Of the ones that people struggle with the most, I think, usually are drapes and curtains, okay? Blinds and shades, when it comes to most roller shades and slatted blinds, the options are numerous, but they all kind of fit on the window in much the same way. You either have to decide whether they're going to fit over the window, mounted on the wall, and just over the edges of the window, or whether you're going to mount, for instance, a blind inside a window cavity. Over the window will hide the casings when they're closed. Inside is going to allow the window trims to be exposed the entire time and still get the job done as far as the work inside, but they're going to stack a little bit up at the top when it comes to blinds especially. Curtains and drapes, this is something that seems to confuse and baffle people, and there are numerous reasons why, including most consumers being led astray when they go down to their local, Bed Bath & Beyond or Linens and things. So that's what I want to talk about next. I want to give you some tips and some rules to follow that are going to help your drapery and curtain choices make sense. So glad you joined me this morning. We got so much more to come. You're listening to Home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Brian Barone has the news.
Well, here's the latest news on the invasion of Ukraine. A missile has hit an apartment building on the outskirts of the capital of Kyiv, while Russia insists its attacks are not targeting civilians. India has abstained from a UN Security Council vote on a resolution to call for Russia to end its invasion of Ukraine. And the ports of LA and Long Beach have delayed a fee for containers sitting for too long after a report of its backlog shows that cargo continues to decline there. And we're going to have a look at some trouble on the 210 next.
Hey, have you received one of those letters, from the water company that looks like a bill, but or maybe it's on your bill, that says high usage, all in red caps? It's a warning that you're using more water than your neighbors and they don't know why. And it bugs a lot of people, and you probably do something like tell the family, stop washing your car so often, or cool it with the long showers, things like that. So you do what you can, and then next month the same notice shows up. That is when you should start suspecting that you might have a leak, and that is when you call the Water Boy, Southern California's high-tech leak detection experts. The Water Boy finds leaks. They do it quickly, non-destructively. They're not going to tear anything up in your house. They've got state-of-the-art equipment which allows them to inspect your pipes, find everything from the failing toilet to maybe a burst pipe in your slab that you didn't even know was there. If you even suspect that you might have a leak, don't wait for it to get worse. Reach out to the leak experts trusted by property managers and realtors and homeowners alike. Call the Water Boy today at 818-518-5050, 818-518-5050, or visit thewaterboy.com.
Taking a look at KFI traffic, we've got a crash on the 210.
A single Laverne on the westbound side of the 210 just before Fruit Street. Crash there has had the carpool and two left lanes shut down. Looks like they're making some progress, reopening a couple of more lanes, but you are jammed back to Town Avenue. New problem in Paramount on the eastbound side of the 105 just before Paramount Boulevard. Crash in the two left lanes, causing delays starting at the 710. And in Elysian Park, northbound side of the 110 Stadium Way to the 5 right lane shut down by Caltrans until around 1 o'clock this afternoon. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Stubucky.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Will change the way you think about Staples. Explore the world of possible with new small business services and innovative tools. Work and learn from anywhere. Now open at 5665 West Wilshire, 1 block east of the La Brea Tar Pits. Learn more at staplesconnect.com/LA. This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
And now, an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. On top of that, they have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. Get the lowdown on all things cryptocurrency on the Coin Bureau podcast. Your home for unbiased crypto knowledge. Hosts Guy Turner and Mike Mooch share the latest tips and tricks, providing education about cryptocurrency without the hype.
I had to go back and think about money in general.
Yeah.
And once I got that all square, I found that Bitcoin and crypto
Make more sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Listen to the Coin Bureau podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you been considering a cash-out refinance? If so, Cake Mortgage has cash-out refinance specialists that have saved millions of dollars for homeowners all across the Southland. Like Mel from Long Beach. Mel refied to a low 30-year fixed rate and used a portion of her equity to pay off costly credit card debt, all while lowering her mortgage payments. That puts $1,400 back in Mel's pocket every month. So be like Mel and get a low rate, pay off old debt, and save thousands of dollars. You can have your cake and eat it too, but it starts with a call to Cake Mortgage. Call 877-818-CAKE. That's 877-818-2253. One more time, 877-818-2253. Again, 877-818-2253. 2253 or go to cakehome.com now.
Equal housing lender, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Not licensed in all 50 states, including New York. Visit cakehome.com for licensing terms and restrictions.
Is your job going nowhere? It's a new year. Time for a new career in IT. My computer career has slashed tuition. So what are you waiting for? Attend classes day or night, live online from the comfort of your home. Hands-on learning and lifetime career services help you succeed. And you can start your career in months, not years, even with no experience. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Can you believe how much the Garcia's house sold for? I know. Home values are so high right now. I wish I could pull about $50,000 from my home's equity without selling. You can. We just pulled cash from our home's equity to redo our backyard this summer. We used IntelliLoan. And get this, our monthly payments actually went down. IntelliLoan offered us a 2.69% rate and APR with no points or lender fees. Wow, 2.69% with no points and no lender fees. Hello, new pool. Take the number. It's 800-918-6200. 800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com. IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
Rate subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount and certain restrictions apply. 50% loan to value and a 740 FICO credit score. Must apply online at IntelliLoan.com. First lien only. This is a dramatization. Cash out will vary. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California financing law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Deborah Mark. Okay, you have the free iHeartRadio downloaded and you're listening to KFI everywhere you go, right? Great. But did you know you have your very own radio station inside the iHeartRadio app? It's called My Favorites Radio. The more you listen and sum up the songs you like, the more personalized your station gets. So the only songs that play are the ones you like. Plus, you can share your station with anyone. My Favorites Radio, only on the free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
There you go. Mimosas are finally on the menu at IHOP.
Oh, yeah.
You a mimosa girl?
The bottomless mimosa brunch. My favorite.
Oh,
The bottomless part's key, right? Bottomless
Yeah,
is key.
it's usually with crab champagne at that point, but what does it matter?
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra this afternoon at 2 on KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI. Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, at your service. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning. We're talking about window treatments. It's a decorator's weekend. Window treatments today. The House Whisperer Furniture Buying Guide tomorrow on tomorrow's program from 9 to 11. All right, let's dive back into specifically drapes and curtains. But wait. First, this.
It's time for another House Call with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer.
Today's house call brought to you by WDC Kitchen and Bath Center. You know, when it comes to doing kitchen remodels, I want you to clean the slate inside your own head. Start fresh. Don't just replace what you've got without thinking through what your new options are. Don't be told what you want. Think it through. Go look, experiment, window shop, be bold, and be willing to do life different than before because things have changed. Case in point, sinks. Single basin sinks. Most people have two basins in their kitchen sink, and most people would be happier, it's just a fact, with a single basin sink. It can be a smaller sink and actually have more room functionally and practically than your two basin sink right now. And I'll just put it this way. Hey, go and check it out because lots of people tell me all the time, I hate my two basin sink. And to this day, I have never heard anyone say, I hate my single basin sink. It's a big change that has happened just in the last 10 to 15 years, but you should consider it if you are remodeling your kitchen. And by the way, you can find just about any sink on the planet at your local WDC Kitchen and Bath Center. It's just solid advice. That's all I'm saying. We were talking to some clients yesterday. Same thing. Everybody hates the, a 30-inch single basin sink. You can take a griddle off the cooktop, right, babe, and just right down, boom, the whole thing, right down in the bottom, where it doesn't have to lean up against the side. That's the thing that I hate the most. Take up less space, do a better job. That's all I'm saying. Everybody should check it out before they commit. All right, back to, speaking of committing, drapes and curtains. Often drapes and curtains, those words are used interchangeably. Is there a difference? It's kind of a loosey-goosey thing out there. It depends on who you ask. Drapes are usually considered heavier materials, pleated, lined. Curtains, typically in the industry, are a single fabric and usually a lighter fabric. Shades hang vertically, like curtains, or horizontally like Roman shades and rolling shades. Okay, so there you go. Tips and rules. Okay, of course. Let me just. I'm going to jump down. I just got to find it on my list here because I already know what I want to tell you. The biggest thing that I see happen with curtains and drapes in the wrong are they get set too low. All right, and this isn't just your fault. And when I say set too low, I mean, you just put the curtain rod right above the window. You're like, well, wait, that's what it's supposed to do, right? There's the window. Set the curtain rod up there. No, not for maximum impact. For maximum impact, I want you to set the curtain rod up near the ceiling. Now, not if you have a 28-foot ceiling, okay? You are excused from this rule, okay? But if you have a normal ceiling height, 8 or 9 foot tall ceiling, why not emphasize the height of the room with a column of draperies that go all the way up? So yeah, I want that curtain rod set higher, up, higher, away. Now, one of the things I said before the break, I alluded to the fact that not only does the general public not, in general, know this rule, but when you go to a place like Bed Bath & Beyond or Linens and things, do they still exist, Linens and things? Okay. When you go out and you're buying curtains off the shelf, as it were, guess what? Yeah, most of them are set to lengths that go just above the window height, and most window heights are at 80 inches off the floor, unless you have an exceptionally tall window or a tall room. That's 6'8", same header height as the door coming into a typical room. So the problem is that most of the stuff that you can buy off the shelf in the store is already cut too short, and so it just encourages people to set them where they're going to set them. So this is me telling you, you will do generally a better job with your windows and drapes if you consider doing them all the way up to the ceiling, and that might mean having to have them custom made, or at least ordering them online in an online situation where you can specify that you're looking for, for instance, a 96-foot, wall and an 8-foot drape. On that note, okay, now the second big question when it comes to windows and drapes is, Dean, where should they end? Okay, you told me where to set the top. The top is up near the ceiling. Now, where does the bottom end? Does it just hang right above my floor? Does it touch the floor? I understand your pain. We are going to discuss the answer to that question when we return. You're home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Brian Berumen has the news.
Well, here's the latest news on the invasion of Ukraine. Former Vice President Pence says the White House's response to the Russian invasion is wrong.
People are losing their lives at this very hour, and the fact that we have not yet imposed the level of punitive sanctions that would be required to get the Russians to ultimately withdraw of Ukraine is incomprehensible to me.
Pence says he met Putin and he knows he only responds to a show of strength. President Biden said the new sanctions he imposed target banks and Russia's elite class. The Biden administration is asking Congress for an additional $6.4 billion to help Ukraine. $3.5 billion would go towards the Department of Defense, and $2.9 billion would go to the State Department and U.S. Agency for International Development. This comes as President Biden has promised to financially aid Ukraine as Russia invades. A house fire in Yucca Valley has killed 20 dogs. Firefighters say they found the dogs inside the house after putting out the fire Thursday. Another 15 to 20 dogs were found on the property or in the area. San Bernardino County fire crews were able to put the fire out in about 30 minutes. They say it was caused by a propane tank that fell over. 2 new mental health response teams in Orange County have responded to about 1,600 calls in about 90 days. Be Well OC CEO Marshall Moncrief says Huntington Beach and Garden Grove were the first cities to send a counselor and an EMT out on non-criminal crisis calls in a fully equipped blue van.
We are successfully decompressing crises in community where people are at the lowest intervention possible. And we're successfully relieving law enforcement to do what they do best.
Moncrief says this week Newport Beach became the third city to join the Be Well OC regional network. He says teams are expected next in Anaheim, Irvine, and possibly even at UC Irvine. The Los Angeles Kings head coach Tom McClellan is in COVID-19 isolation. Coach McClellan missed last night's matchup with Anaheim after submitting to the NHL's COVID-19 protocols. Assistant coach Trent Yanni is taking over in the meantime. Taking a look at KFI traffic, we're going back to a crash on the 210.
In Laverne on the westbound side of the 210 before Fruit Street, crash here had been in the left lanes. They're making some progress on it, but it still has you backed up to Town Avenue, downtown LA, the eastbound side of the 10 at Maple. It's a trailer that was lost in the left lane there. It's got you back up starting around Grand Avenue and Paramount, eastbound side of the 105 just before Paramount Boulevard. Crash moved out of the left lanes over to the right shoulder. The drive still slow from the 710 freeway. Paris 215 northbound Redlands Avenue to Ramona Expressway. It's Caltrans working the 2 right lanes until around 2 o'clock. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Zabucky.
So you know, when you hear me say there are only 2 kinds of solar companies in Southern California, Sunlux and everybody else, I'm really not kidding around about that. Neither is Tesla, the solar giant who, for the first time, has now opened their entire solar ecosystem. That means their mounting system, their solar components like Tesla Powerwall batteries, their panels. They have opened that solar ecosystem to just a handful of trusted companies to install. And guess who Tesla selected for Southern California? Yeah, Sunlux. Sunlux and Tesla. So panels, mounting system, and the most single sought-after solar component, the Tesla Powerwall battery. Anybody can order them, but Sunlux can actually get them for you. It's all now waiting for you at Sunlux. Like I always said, there really are only 2 kinds of solar companies in SoCal, Sunlux and everybody else. Get the whole Tesla solar ecosystem, including Powerwall batteries, at sunlux.com, sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
Southland weather from KFI. The sun is out. Sunny skies today, warming up in a little bit. Highs in the mid to upper 60s at the beaches, upper 60s to mid 70s in Metro LA and OC, low 70s in the valleys, and mid 60s to low 70s in the IE. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Berman.
Are you a real estate investor looking to refinance one or more of your properties? Most lenders only work with cookie-cutter W-2 borrowers. At Cash Call Mortgage, we have loans designed specifically for investment properties. We qualify customers based on the cash flow from the investment property. Borrowers can get up to $2.5 million. That's right, $2.5 million. No tax returns or employment verification needed for our investment property loans, and absolutely no lender or broker fees. If you're a real estate investor looking to refinance a mortgage on one or more of your investment properties, give Cash Call Mortgage a try. To see if you qualify, visit cashcallmortgage.com or call now. Call 800-749-5590. That's 800-749-5590. 800-749-5590.
Cash Call Mortgage is a DBA of Impact Mortgage Corp. NMLS ID 128231. Not all applicants will qualify. Equal housing lender. Licensed by California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Residential Mortgage Lending Act license number 4131083. Not licensed in